Hey guys, it's March 19th, 2021. I'm Kimberly Jolly from Fat Quarter Shop. Just back from vacation and oh my God, I'm so tired. My body hurts. So today we are starting Sewcialites. We're on block 23. This block is called Steadfast and it's by Sherri McConnell. And I'm gonna show you a technique where I chain piece the entire thing at one time. And it's something that I think some of you will love and I think some of you will hate. So it's kind of one of those things that you have to kind of see kind of what personality you have and if it's going to work for you. But I do want to show you her block that she made, and she used her brand new Happy Days fabric. And you can see some of her previous blocks in the back. I think she's making 3-inch. So I think that's what she's doing. And so I'm going to kind of just jump right in and start and just show you the blocks we have. And this one's going to be pretty easy. I am going to assemble it slightly different than it's kind of a shortcut. So this one I used Homestead Fabric by April Rosenthal. And you can see when you look at this block, everything kind of looks even, right? And it looks like some plus signs. And when you look here, it looks totally different to me because these are so small. So you kind of get a different look, even though it's the same. So these are my Homestead blocks. And these are our sample maker blocks. This one is Quotation, made by Teresa, and Zen Chic fabric. This one is made by Deborah. It's Figs and Shirtings by Fig Tree with an essential dot. This one is Shine On fabric, and Sue made this one, and you can see on this one she just did the rainbows however which way, so you can either do it that way or you can line them up. This one is Folktale by Layla Boutique, and yesterday I started working on something with the Christmas morning fabric by Layla Boutique for live stream, and it's going to be awesome. And then this one is Cider, and Angel made this one, and Cider is basic gray. So I'm going to kind of put them all out so you can see just the difference. And it's just a simple block, but you know, this one is more low volume. These stick out a lot. This one kind of blends. You know, it's all kind of different. So depending on if you're doing a light, a medium, a dark, you know, you kind of get a different look. So those are our blocks. This is a completely free sew along. It's on our blog and on our website. It is called Sewcialites, and there are 3-inch, 6-inch, and 9-inch blocks, and they are all free. And my previous blocks that I made on camera, I'm going to show you real quick. These are my previous blocks. Now, I'm going to either keep this for the front or put it on the back. I haven't decided. But I am going to go ahead and do 12 blocks instead of 9. I was thinking I would do 9. But now I think I'm going to do 12 because I am going to use one of our free settings that we have. I think it's free. If it's not free, it's a low-priced PDF. So I need to have 12 blocks to be able to do that. So I'm going to go ahead. So I'll have 4 green, 4 peach, and 4 gray. And this is Apricot and Ash by Corey Yoder, and I'm using this same sashing. And for what I'm going to put it in, I'm probably going to use the same sashing. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to have it in my little binder. We're on 23. So I'll take my little Post-it note out. And this one's definitely beginner.
Only 1 page.
I know, 1 page, right? It's a good one to come back. Let's see what next week is. Let's see. Oh, next week, it's a little hard. And then the week after, a little hard. It's always good when there's an easy one to do on camera because I get less stressed out. So I do want to show you the way that we piece this in the instructions is we did 4 4-patches, 4 2-patches, and assembled into rows. I'm going to just chain piece the whole thing and show you. Now, this is something that I used to do a long time ago, and I still do it, but I don't always do the entire block at one time. But we're going to go ahead and do it that way just so you can see if you like it. And A and B and D and E are exactly the same. So I can actually cut the background and the print at the same time and then come back later and add a square here for fabric C. So I'm gonna actually cut that out of both. I'm just gonna cut the whole thing out of both. We'll divide it up and then I'll show you different center options. So I'll kind of move this up so I can see what I'm doing. And here is, I started with a fat quarter and this is just some leftover fabric. So I'm gonna actually put these together and I'm gonna press them. They really don't have to be right side. I don't know why I'm doing that. But I'm gonna press them and then we'll cut. Just press them one more time, nice and flat. And that'll give me more time to pick what I'm gonna do my 3-inch block out of because I made that decision. So I'm gonna actually, again, fold this. So I've got, when I cut, I've got 4 layers and I'm gonna get 2 cream or white and 2 gray at the same time. I'm gonna kind of make them flat. So I'm gonna cut 2 2-inch strips and just kind of start there. So I'll cut a 4-inch strip, come back and cut a 2-inch strip. I'll move this, and I see how I haven't moved this at all. I'm gonna try to make this work, we'll see. Now see, it moved, so I'm gonna put it back together. I'm gonna put this line right here. And I'm gonna make sure that's lined up and that. Cut sideways. Probably not supposed to, but. Okay, so we need 4 2 by 3.5. So if I do a 3.5 here, that's gonna give me what I need for those. 1 2 3.5. And I need 8 2-inch, so I'm gonna cut a 4-inch strip. Actually, these kind of moved a little bit. So I'm gonna do these individually. I'm gonna do, and I think this is gonna give me everything I need except the 3-inch, 3.5-inch square. We'll see if I did my math right. I'm fresh from vacation, so if it's not right, then we have a problem. Because I should be, I don't know, going on vacation with little kids, though. That's not exactly vacation.
Oh.
I mean, it is, but oh my gosh, there's so much energy that we don't have. So I'm going to cut a 3.5-inch square here. Okay, so put this aside. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lay it out on a design board.
Ooh.
So I'm going to use doing this chain piecing, really you kind of have to have something like this. And you can easily make these, or you could just have a board with no batting if you want. You could just use a board, like if you have a tray in your house, like a food tray. I mean, you can use whatever you want. You don't have to use these. So what I'm going to do is just lay out the block like it would be, and we'll see if I lay it out right first and see if I cut everything. I think I did, though. Let's see, and then let's see, now we're gonna go dark. This one's really fun. This would make a really fun quilt if you just did the whole quilt in this.
So pretty.
Let's see. Y'all can just tell me if I've made a mistake. I don't think I have. But now here, obviously you're supposed to do this. But if you wanted it to be more muted, you could do this, and it would still be really pretty. And I cut these at the same time, so I'll just leave this and put it in my 3.5-inch scrap bucket. But this kind of gives you, I don't know, like a little flower in the center. So you could do this, and I'll save this. So what I'm gonna do now, let's see if I have it right. darks, dark. So you can kind of see it makes an X a little bit and then a circle. So I am going to try to chain piece this and see if it works. I'm just gonna find my seam ripper.
It's on the
Oh,
design board.
okay, thanks. To get my my thread is kind of loose. Okay, so I'm gonna use a 1/4 inch foot. And if you want a 1/4 inch foot that fits the Juki, just call Primitive Gatherings in Wisconsin and she will sell you one.
Ooh.
So what I'm gonna do is from here, or actually let's do this camera, Lily. Thanks. I'm gonna stitch down here and stop. And I'm not going to cut my thread, but I am going to do a couple bigger stitches between so that I have a little bit of wiggle room. So I'm just gonna do this basically, and I'll pin as I go. So we're gonna just sew down this way, straight down. So when I come to the machine, I'll pin. So I'm going to stitch. Now here I'm going to do more stitches than normal so I have a little bit of wiggle room and it'll make sense in a little bit. It'll just a little bit more of a chain because it'll make sense in a little bit. And then I'll do this one. And this one, I mean, you can pin, you don't have to.
Sandy Taylor was asking if you starch your backs, and then she says, love the videos this week. When does the book you were taking pictures with come out? Which is Scrapbook of Quilts. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
On the back, I do most of the time starch my backs, but we'll have to see. If I don't have time, I don't, and you're supposed to. So from the front camera, you can see.
Oh, sorry.
Not
Top
sorry,
camera.
the top camera. Yeah, that. So you can see I left bigger chain, and it will help you on the next step because I'm not going to cut these chains apart. So I'm going to iron these, and on this block and this whole sew along, we're pressing open because the way we have the setting is a lot of blocks touch. Now, if you're going to do a different setting and you're going to have sashing, you don't have to press open if you don't want to. So on the backings, yes, you're supposed to starch them if you starch the front. Now, several times I've not done that, but I know it's gross, but I don't wash my quilts because I don't really use them. I mean, my kids use them, but they don't care if they're not washed. I mean, I know that sounds gross, but I just don't. I use them more for display. So I set my seam, now I'm pressing open, and then Lily's going to answer the other question.
Yes, to Sandy Taylor, the book that we were taking pictures of that we released a little behind-the-scenes cute video on is Scrapbook of Quilts. That is coming out in May of this year. And then she had been asking if you starch your backs.
Yeah, that's what I answered.
You answered that. That's
Yeah.
right. Thank you.
And the book is by Joanna Figueroa and Carrie Nelson, and we're finalizing the cover right now.
Woohoo.
This morning.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave this together and add pieces as I go, and by doing that, it'll give you enough room to line up your next piece. So you kind of have to do it one at a time. So we just bring this whole chain over here. Okay, if I hadn't left enough room here, my piece would be way up here, and it would be way up here, and I would have no room to add the next piece. And then this one, you just flip it over. So you can pin or not pin. I feel like I cut pretty accurately, so I don't need to. And if keeps my right hand out of the way. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to just keep building. I'm going to iron this, and then we'll keep adding. And I just do one row at a time. You could do this as a row and then attach it, but I usually don't do that. So I just set my seams, press to one side, and then press open.
Bernadette Candace is asking, does it matter if you use starch and unstarched fabric in the same block?
I would only use either or, because they will shrink differently. But I mean, it's only going to affect it once you wash it.
Do you think they behave a little differently while you're sewing?
Yes, for me they do.
Yeah.
If Lily tried to trick me, for example, and just put a fabric and said, oh, it's starched, I would know within 2 seconds.
It's true.
Because I'm just so used to doing it. And I feel like if it's unstarched, it's just not very stiff and it moves around much more. Like when I put the pieces on top, it sticks. If you don't have that, I do think it behaves differently. I have it on there wrong. So flip it. And then I'm just going to keep going. Now, the reason I don't usually do this and then attach it is because I'm likely to attach it upside down. So that's why I just keep going. And if you did a quilt of just these blocks, I mean, think how fast you could do it because you just chain piece the whole thing. It's so efficient. The key is that extra stitch in between so you have enough room to add. Yeah, I starched yesterday. I got up super early and I starched all kinds of stuff. And when my son woke up, I said, look, go look, I starched all by myself. And he was so happy. He was probably glad he slept in. But then he had to pull off triangle paper. And this is a technique, you can do this with any quilt block. It could have flying geese, half square triangles, it could have anything. You don't have to do this just with squares. I just thought this would be something fun to show today.
A little squeaky.
Yeah, it's like a squeaky door.
Oh yeah. Arlene Valor says, when can we get the setting block measurements, since many of us would like to start stitching together? So the setting, I think she's talking about the setting you said you were going to use for the 12 blocks that you've sewn for the 9
okay.
inch? I think.
I can show you. It's on my desk if Ashley wants to go get it, because I can't think of the name of it. I'm sorry. But yes, I will show you. Yes, it's on my desk.
Thank you, Ashley.
Let's see what it's called. It's Jocelyn knows. I think it's Maple Leaf.
Oh.
It's on my desk, but
Okay.
I literally just walked in from vacation, so I can't. Let's see. So I've still got going the right way. Okay, now I'm just going to do this last one. And then when you start getting real big, it can become cumbersome. But this is just the right amount of pieces. I feel like if you kept going, it could get kind of crazy. I'm glad you clarified that question because I thought you were asking something else.
Well, I think it's that. But if the person who asked, if I asked it about the wrong thing, please let me know.
Can you look up maple leaf to see if it's a paid or a...
It's a classic and vintage.
Okay, so the setting you have to pay.
Yeah.
But it's low priced.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one I remember.
Thank you, Ashley. Sorry.
Yay.
I didn't think anybody would ask that.
Ashley always gets her steps in during live stream.
Thank you. Let's see. Okay, so now we're going to press this, and then I'm going to show you how you can really go fast after this. And then I'll show you the setting in a second. And you can kind of tell they're starched because look.
Oh, they're so stiff.
Yeah, if it wasn't starched, it wouldn't be that stiff. Now, everyone uses a different level of starchness. Mm-hmm. Lily uses the heavy starch, but does less of a spray.
Yeah.
I do kind of the normal, but a heavy spray. And Lisa Bonjean, who taught me, uses the same heavy spray Lily does, but she soaks it all the way through like I do.
Oh.
So everyone is different. You just do whatever works. Mm-hmm. My favorite starch is discontinued. It's long gone. Mm-hmm. And someone at QuiltCon a year ago gave me 2 cans of it, and it's still sitting in my bathroom because I just refuse to use it.
Oh, that's right, it is.
It's just like, I feel like if I use it, it's just like gone forever. And Faultless did send me 2 cans of starch that are non-aerosol, and I gotta try those. But I only have 2 cans, and they don't sell it at my store. So to use it, I have to use it on a small quilt because I have to have enough for the whole quilt so it's even. So I am gonna try that.
Ooh, that's exciting.
So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna actually put these together and pin, and these together and pin, and sew at the same time. And here is when you want to cut off your little pieces, because if you press open and you don't cut these little joining things, mm-hmm. they will, it won't be able to press open. Yeah. So right here, I just make sure I line it right up. Or, try your best to get it to. And if you were going to just do this and press to one side, just press toward the dark throughout, and it will all nest.
Lorraine Hamlin was asking, Kimberly, have you ever figured out a way to cut fabric while sitting due to your back?
No, I haven't. I don't even think I would have room in my room for a chair. That would be great though, because my back does hurt. Oh my gosh. Yeah, where we stayed, they had really old mattresses. And so on the last day, I was like, can we just go home? I'm done. I was like, we just need to go home. We canceled horseback riding because I was like, I just need to go home. I need to go home and bathe. Yeah. It's like we were really roughing it, and I think we had just had enough of each other and of. Okay, so then I'll just go and I'll leave these connected and just stitch. So when I'm doing pins, what I try to do is I'll stitch until my foot almost gets to the little pin, and then pull the pin. Okay, I kind of went crooked there. Okay, I don't know, I just kind of went crooked. I knew I went crooked, so I'm just going to start back. This is where I can't really get my fingers out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to do the other side before I look at my seams because I'm hoping they meet. If they don't, I might just leave it today. I might just have one of those days where it just has to stay. Okay, so now you could do these two at the same time, but I like to press these because it will keep it easier. It'll press nicer, but you could go ahead and do these two if you wanted to.
Melanie Clark Evans says, could you have strip piece the two fabrics, then cut them into the segments?
You could. So yeah, you could strip piece.
And Gwen Smith says, Kimberly, is the non-aerosol starch spray using pumping action?
Yeah, so you would pump. I only have two, and so I've looked at my local HEB and they don't sell it, so I need to wait until I have a quilt that's like just really small so that I have the same stiffness throughout, but I am going to test it.
Ooh, I'm excited.
And I was thinking of maybe putting it in a tub and dipping it.
Oh.
Instead of spraying, but we'll see when I get to it. But yeah, I'm just waiting for like something really small to test it. Or I might have, if I don't, I would have to just go buy some on Amazon, which, I mean, that wouldn't be the end of the world. It's
easier to get in person.
Yeah, it's just easy. Plus, if I don't like it, it's better if I do it on a small project so that, because I'm not sure if I'm going to like it. Now this one I am going to do this press and then do the other one, probably.
If you do use the pump, we could sing, pump up the starch.
Oh my God, Lily. Pump up the jam, up the jam. Who sings that?
I don't even remember, honestly.
That was my decade.
Yeah, I really like that song.
Oh my God, Lily, now I'm going to sing it at home and then send a video to Lily. Pump. I'll have my kids do it. Pump up the starch, up the starch. That would be so funny. I have a kid who does like to do videos.
And Wilma Evans was asking if Piggy was excited to see you.
Oh my gosh, yes. And so we actually came home a day early. So I was able to get him a day early. And he was so excited to see me. But the guy that he stays with is so sad every time he goes. Because he said, he just really, for some reason, he just really likes Piggy. And he says he sits with him the whole time. And but yeah, he has not done anything for 2 days. He's been so tired. He's just been sleeping.
Aww.
Because I think it's just because, okay, I am going to just go ahead and do this one. Pin it. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. But yeah, And I have a funny story then about Kevin. Because it's funny.
Also, thank you, Ashley, and everyone in the chat for the artist who does that song. It's Technotronic.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
I wouldn't have guessed it either. It's a good song.
I don't know, when I pick up Emma from dance, I make her listen to Dave Matthews now. Because it's very calm. And she's always in a bad mood when she gets out of dance. Because she's tired. Like, it's 9 o'clock at night. And so I tell her if I'll turn it off if she's nice. Because, like when you're a teenager, you're grumpy. So she really does not like to listen to Dave Matthews. So that's my thing. I'm like, okay, if you want me to turn it off, you have to be nice. Or she'll just turn the volume down thinking I don't notice. Okay, it's close enough. There's a couple things that are not exactly perfect.
Where?
Right here.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just gonna say leave it for today.
Yeah. If I didn't zoom in, I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it because I want to today. Okay. So to do this, okay, if you start pressing now and you press this way, this part of your iron is going to touch this part of your block and it's going to get this messed up. So you want to start at one edge. So start here. Press to one side. Then starch here. Press to one side and then press open. And this is where it's kind of hot. I wonder if we ever sing a song that's like copyrighted, if the video will get turned off or something.
It's unlikely if we're singing it, especially just a short snippet, because technically if you sing a song on a video, it's considered a cover, which falls under fair use. It would only be like if I took out my phone right now and started playing the song, then that's like ding ding. Because we don't own the rights to the song, but we could cover it. We just couldn't, if we made like a whole recording of the cover, we couldn't sell it, technically.
Okay.
Copyright, yes.
So now I'm gonna just trim the edges and that'll just get my little tails off. This again is optional, you don't have to do this part. And next Tuesday, we're going to do a members only live stream that's going to show new Riley Blake and new Moda.
Yes.
And then next Friday for people who are not members, I'm going to show the same thing with pre-cuts. So the members only, I'm going to show cap sets.
Do you want me to grab one?
Yeah, just bring me one. So I'll show you what I'm going to show you on Tuesday. So for members only, what I do is I lay out the Moda cap sets and show all the pieces. And then Friday, I will show the pre-cuts so that you can get a look of all the new items coming in. And it will be at 9 a.m. Okay, so now I'm going to show you my idea for the setting. And sit down. So what I like to do is when I'm doing this one, they're going to be 9-inch. Well, these are all 9-inch blocks, and I'm doing, when I started, I did the 6-inch blocks, right, Lily?
Yes.
6-inch. Okay, and then now I'm doing the 9-inch. And then I'm going to demonstrate 3-inch so that everybody gets a little bit of a different demo based on what you're doing. Okay, see that little dirt? There's a little piece of dirt there.
Oh.
A Tide pen. Tide pen will get anything out, I have discovered.
Right there if you want.
I use that Tide pen all the time. I can just say to my kids, where's the Tide pen? They know exactly where it is.
We have one in the...
Oh, no, it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the maple leaf quilt. Now this is a pattern. It's a free pattern on Fat Quarter Shop. Now there's a low price pattern. It's just a PDF that shows you how you would set it. And I'm going to use this setting. So I'm going to use this setting and do like 4 peach and then 4. I'll probably do 4 peach, 4 green, and then put my grays out here. And so I'm going to do 2 more blocks, 1 more peach, 1 more green, and then I'm going to set it in here. Now the one different thing I'm going to do is I'll probably make my border bigger. We'll see how it looks. I'll either leave it like it is, or I could leave it like this and add a thicker outer border, or I could just make this thicker and I could do it in either this or a different fabric. So that's what I've decided to do. I do try to either use patterns we've done or books for a setting so that if I do it, at least you can have instructions for it. Because when I used to just free for all it, I confused everybody. So yeah, this is what I'm going to be doing. So 2 more weeks, we'll do 9-inch blocks, and then we'll go to 3-inch. And I had told Lily yesterday I wasn't sure which fabric I'm going to use for the 3-inch, so that gives me time to figure that out.
Yeah. All right. Questions, super chats, new members, and all of that. So super chat from last week, actually, that got sent right as we had started running our ending of the show for $4.99 from Susanna Pastorik, and she says, love Fat Quarter Shop.
Thank you. We love you too.
Thank you so much. And then we had a new YouTube member, Janet Lindsay. Welcome, Janet.
Thank you.
And then we had a super chat from Sally Johnson for $5. And Sally says, morning, Kimberly and Lily. Happy Red Friday.
Thank you.
Happy Red Friday.
What is it? Red Friday?
I think it's when you wear red in support of the Army? Military? Veterans?
Oh, we'll have to look it up.
Please let me know, Sally. And then, I think that's right. But yes, let me know, Sally. And then Anita De Silva says, oh, new member, Anita De Silva. It's a new member, yay. And then another new YouTube member, Dee Dee Freeman. Welcome, Dee Dee. Woohoo. And then Love for My 2 Kids, new YouTube member. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yay.
That's a fun name. So yesterday, well, I got home 2 days ago, but what I went ahead and did is I put together my Serendipity row. Oh, it fits perfect on the camera. So I got this put together. So I had sewn this block on camera, and I went ahead yesterday, got up early, stitched all the rest, and in 2 hours I had the whole row done. So I just wanted to show that. Now we do have a video showing how you do it, how you do each block, or how you do that. And then I wanted to show, we're also offering cross stitch free pattern. And as of now, we have raised $48,000, let's see.
There it is.
$48,254. So I'm so proud of that. Thank you to everyone who is contributing. So you can see that we kind of use the same colors. So this has some yellow, some blues, some beige. So this is also completely free. And if you are interested in cross stitch, our cross stitch channel is Fat Quarter Shop Floss Tube. Yeah. And you can join there. And we did a really fun video on cross stitch organization, and it released 2 days ago. So if you want to see part of my quilt room, definitely go subscribe to Fat Quarter Shop Floss Tube, and you will see that video. Yeah. And so this is our free pattern right here for cross stitch. So you can see that it's similar to quilting. Mm-hmm. So I got that done yesterday, which was super exciting.
Also, Sally says, Red Friday, Lily, it is to support military and first responders. I wear red to support my son who is in the Air Force.
Yay. So is that every Friday?
I think so. And then Ashley did a little research. She said RED is an acronym that stands for Remember Everyone Deployed. Red Friday was created to remind people of our heroes overseas and show that we are thinking of them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Stitchery Sampler, I've been working on this with Joanna Figueroa. It is a quilt kit and a pattern, so you could either buy the kit and sew it just like she has it, or you could, use your own fabric. It's been a fun sew along, and she does have videos on her channel. And what I did here to save a little bit of time is I chain pieced, and so I cut 1 3/4 by 8.5 inch for each fabric in the block, and then I subcut these into 2-inch squares from that, and then assembled it so that this could go fast. and just trimmed at the end. And I've got everything assembled for the border, so I might go ahead and after next week, I might go ahead and just put the whole thing together. I'm anxious to see it. It's a really good size of a quilt, so I think I'm gonna use it in my bedroom. So I got that done. And the other thing that I got done is Riley Blake has the Riley Blake Designs Block Challenge. They're doing 3 blocks a month, and this is month 6.
Block 6.
Sorry, block 6. And the pattern is called Windmill. It's by Amy Smart, which is a Riley Blake designer, completely free. So there's going to be 16 blocks. They're going to finish at 10 inches square, and they're going to give a free setting also. So I'm using the Prim Collection by Lori Holt, and I'm just using these 4 fabrics. And we did post on social media last Friday, I believe, on what fabrics I'm using and how much of each I bought. Now, I have not seen the entire quilt, so I haven't made all the blocks. I've only made these blocks. So I don't know if I'll have enough, but I think I will. And I did do the Sashiko machine, the baby lock machine, and put in a pink. I think this is 24, 23, 12 weight, and you can barely see it. Can you try to zoom in?
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll.
It shows up very well in person.
Yeah, in person you can really see it. I kind of tested a couple of colors, and I felt like if I put brown here, it really took away from the design. And I don't have a lot of 12 weight at home, so I didn't have a sea glass one, so I just went with pink because that's what I had. And I'm interested to see when Gina quilts this, if this is going to get in the way of her quilting. I don't think it will, but you know, that's something to consider. But it is something that I'm thinking of doing on other quilts. I did get the idea from Bev McConnell, which is also a Riley Blake designer. And if you follow her, she's got a group and a page for Flamingo Toes, and hers really shows better than mine. And so you can kind of follow what she does, and she might have extra stitching that I don't. So you should definitely check out her Facebook groups. Mm-hmm. So got that done. And then the other thing I'm so excited about, sorry, I'm losing my voice.
Oh. Dinosaurs quilt.
Dinosaurs. So I have a son, and he always says, "Dinosaur, roar, roar." So I bought this kit. Now, we had the kit in stock. We sold out. We got it again. We've got about 4 left, but we do have a lot more on order. So in about a month, we'll have more. And this is using the Paint Box collection along with some Essex. And I kind of struggled at first because this is a yarn dye, so it is it does move a lot. So I made sure to starch, and I tried a darker thread, and it was just too much. I was seeing the thread through the front. So I ended up with 2600. And the instructions are really nice. They're very easy to follow. So I got the first 3 done, and these are the plants. I'll kind of show you some of them. And then I just have the dinosaurs left. I'm not sure when I'll start the dinosaurs. Maybe soon, maybe not. I have to have like a full day, and Emma's dance is coming up. But it's really nice now because what they do is they do the studios where you just come once. So she has 9 dances in 3 hours. Actually, 9 dances in 2 hours, 45 minutes.
Wow.
So I don't have to be there that long. So that's pretty awesome.
Wow.
So this design is obviously Elizabeth Hartman. It's super awesome. I did use the Kona that is called for in the pattern, and that did come in the kit. This one's fun though. It's really fun, and I've never worked with Essex before, so that is new for me. The next thing I wanted to show you is we have a celebration where we celebrate World Peace Day.
Worldwide Quilting Day.
And it is March 20th, which is tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're celebrating Worldwide Quilting Day, and we are calling this design World Peace. And each year we have a different pattern that goes with it. So for Worldwide Quilting Day, this year it's World Peace. It's free pattern on our site. And we do have some quilt kits. When they're gone, they'll probably be gone forever. This is Pin Drop Fabric by Christopher Thompson, and in this pattern we use triangles on a roll H350 and H175, and we do write instructions. Let's see. No, we wrote the instructions using triangle paper. Jocelyn designed it, Nancy made it, and Mike with mylongarm.com quilted it. So this is our free pattern for 2021. And I'm going to show you the patterns for the last 2 years so that you can see all the free patterns we have in case you want to make one of these.
Ooh.
So Mini Wonder was 2020's quilt, and this is a free pattern. And we can't show my quilt because it's at home. I don't know where it is in my house, but it is at home.
But
so
it's the one on the cover.
Yeah, this is the one that I made. And this is Bonnie and Camille fabric from last year. I think it's called At Home.
Yes.
So this is a free pattern. It uses mini charm packs. And I'm going to show you these quilts. So this one was sewn in Scarlet and Sage collection by Fig Tree. Deborah made it, and Deborah actually quilted it also. Mm-hmm. And so these fabrics that you're seeing now will no longer be available because this was the free 2020 pattern. Mm-hmm. So I'll show to the front camera.
So pretty.
And the back.
And I believe the way she quilted it, she used one of the quilting template things we sell.
Yeah, let's see if we can. I can kind of trace it with my finger.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the scallop ruler. I believe it's a scallop. So this is one of those, and then another version of it is using Goldenrod collection by One Canoe 2. Oh, I love the quilting on this. And this one, Jocelyn designed it, Nova made it, and Nova quilted it. Mm-hmm. Look how good it looks.
I love Nova's straight line quilting.
It looks good. Okay, see if you can see. And it's it looks great, and it's not some are even and some are not, so it's kind of, what do you call that? She freehanded it. Mm-hmm. What do you call it? Impromptu. That's what I'm going to call it. Yeah. And then this is the back she used. Ooh. So that is also a free pattern on our site. And then there's another version from 2019, I guess.
Yes, 2019.
So this one is called Peace, Love, and Quilting. And it is made in Bella Solids. It's smaller. There's two sizes. There's a mini and a lap. So this is the mini.
It's so cute.
It's so cute. Okay, so I'll show to the front. This one, so this is Bella Solids. Jocelyn designed it. Terry made this one, and Mike at mylongarm.com quilted it. And so he did feathers.
Also, shout out to Terry for letting us take this off of her desk where she had it hanging.
So she had it on her desk.
Yeah, it was funny.
And then this is the large version. And this would look great in collections. It doesn't have to be in solids.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the second version that we have. And then I'll go to the front. This one was made by Nova, and Mike at mylongarm.com quilted it. Mm-hmm. And the back is, she used the same fabric as the binding. Oh. So that's what we have. And then the other item that we have is the new ruler. Do you know where that is, Lily?
Yes, it should be under,
Oh.
Yes, you got it. It's kind of sticking out.
Oh my goodness.
Not the big fatty.
The Big Easy. So I'm going to take this one home today and try it out. It is called the Big Easy. I'll turn it around. It is 12.5 by 24.5. And so if you're doing really big borders, and some of Lori's books, she has some really wide borders, this is going to be great for that. But I am going to take it home today. I'm so excited that we got this in. And then the other new item we have is right here. It is a brand new pattern called Layer Cake Lollies. Let's see. And this is a completely free shortcut quilt. Jocelyn designed it, Nova made it, and Gina from Thread Graffiti quilted it. Mm-hmm. And then the back, I like the back.
Yeah.
You can't even see the seam. Wherever the seam is, you can't see it.
Nope, can't see it.
So this is brand new free. So
there's a free video.
Yes, free video, free pattern, lots of free stuff we're offering you. And now I'll take questions and then I'll talk about my vacation a little bit. And it's a little bit shorter today, but I have kind of lost my voice. And so I think if I went the whole 2 hours, I would be, because I had horrible allergies. And the whole time I thought about Lily, because I thought, oh my gosh, if Lily was here, she would have the same allergies. It was horrible. And we were in the middle of nowhere, Texas. And I mean nowhere. The closest anything would have been 30 minutes. And Kevin even said, oh, I'll go get you some medicine. I said, oh, no. No, you're not. Because it was late at night. And I thought, no, I'll just deal with it.
Okay. Going through some super chats from Ileana Fernandez for $9.99. She gave us a super chat, and it's a little pear that says, #1 fan.
Aw, thank you.
Around. Thank you so much, Ileana. And then we had a super chat from Valeria Bauer for $19.99, and she put a dancing pear with a cane and a hat that says, you are amazing.
Aw, thank you.
Thank you so much, Valeria. Valeria, if you're in the chat, you still need to let me know you want me to name the computer.
She doesn't want to name it. We're going to have to call it Valeria.
Oh,
since you're not answering. That's what we'll name it.
Yes, please let us know, Valeria. If not, I guess we will just name it after you. And then Pat Faye, new YouTube member.
Thank you.
And Krista Mayer, another new YouTube member. Woohoo.
Thank you so much.
And Miss Clerk 007, new YouTube member.
She's a detective. Isn't that 007? Is he a detective?
Yeah, that's James Bond.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah,
see, I don't watch anything. So
Spy.
I will tell you though that where I went, I think they should do a documentary about it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, and then just a few questions from Mary Baldison. Can you make the layer cake lollies with a Jolly bar?
I don't think so. I don't know.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
Yeah, there's different math you could do, but usually like those shortcut quilts are written for the
layer cake. Yeah, I think
that's in the title.
Pieces are probably too wide.
Yeah.
I don't have it right in front of me though, but I think layer cake.
Yeah, it's made to be used with a layer cake. And a few people were wondering how come you did the sashiko stitch before having it quilted.
Because that's what Bev McCullough did, and I thought it was amazing, and I asked her, could I copy, and she said yes. And I don't think I could handle the weight if it was quilted and then I did it later. There's no way I could handle the weight. I have a really bad back, and I can't handle a lot of stress. All my joints are going. When I walk down the stairs, you can hear it go crunch, crunch, crunch. I just don't have I don't know, I'm just getting old, and so I'm not going to put that. If I did that, it would hurt my back so much that it would hurt for like a month. And my dad died of this disease called minimal change disease. And in all the appointments I went to with my mom and him, the doctor said that it was caused, he used to take Advil all the time because bad backs run in my family. My brother has one. And my brother's like super fit, works out, but the doctor said just do not take Advil. So I am really bad about not taking Tylenol or Advil because I don't want to get what he had. And his disease is very, very, very little is known about it. Very few people get it, and it's mostly a disease that children get, and they don't know if it's genetic or not. So I am really bad about not taking pain medicine, which is why I'm in pain all the time. But I just don't want to die. There's not much known about that disease, and they just don't know what causes it. They don't know if it's hereditary because not enough people have had it. But he died pretty quick of it because there's not much research done about it. And so the treatments that they tried on him were steroids, and none of it worked, and he just went downhill. And so I just really want to be here. So I prefer to be in pain than take medicine.
Okay. From Linda Henrikin, will you ever make any more of your pin catchers similar to the red one you are using?
Yes, we are, because you guys asked. So yes, we are working on that.
Yay!
Yes.
Excited. Okay, and then Susanna Pasterik, she had a YouTube tech question. She said, Lily, I still can't get anything for members only. I did go on my iPad and followed your instructions last week. Any suggestions? If you want, I can just answer if you want.
Well, yeah, I would say email Lily.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, you can email me.
How do you spell it, though?
2 L's, Lilly.
LILLY@fatquartershop.com, because then she could show you like actual screenshot. Like if you send her screenshots, she could really tell you. I don't know anything about. I don't even own an iPad, so I have no idea how to use an iPad.
Yeah, just off the top of my head, if you even try not using the YouTube app on the iPad, but use like a browser and then go to youtube.com, things should show up on the iPad. It's a weird thing with Apple's programming and all of that.
Because they want you to use Apple TV.
Yeah, they want you to use all their stuff. Anyways.
Okay, so we're going to show you some pictures from my vacation, and I'll tell you some funny stories.
Ooh.
Okay, so this, you're going reverse. Can you go the other way?
That's right. Okay, hang on. Give me 1 second.
Sorry, because I sent her the pictures in reverse.
Because it starts with you in the car, right?
Yeah, in the car. So we were driving. We drove from Austin to where we were going, which was Kerrville, and we stopped at this like drive-through ranch, and it was so much fun. And I fed the animals, and then because I was feeding the animals, Kevin started, but then he kind of freaked out. But my kids, 2 of them would do it, 2 would not. And at the end, one of my kids was trying to dump out his feed, and instead it came out the front window. It went out the back window and in the front window, and my whole car was covered. And so I did get my car detailed, but there is still food all in my car. It's disgusting. Oh my goodness. But the camel was kind of putting his head in a little too much, so I had to. You can see the bag is not there because Kevin grabbed the bag because he thought the camel was going to grab the food.
I would think the same.
But that was really fun. And then this. Okay, so we went to the YO Ranch headquarters. And the reason I think that there should be a Netflix documentary is the more we were there, the more we learned about the land and how, the land kind of went from one stayed in the family, and at the end they had to sell it off. And that would make there was some, I wouldn't say crime in there, but there's definitely some drama. And, because we kind of Googled it, Kevin and I. And I think it would make a good Netflix documentary to talk, and they could do it. Can you do the front camera?
Yes.
They could connect it to the King Ranch, because if you look at the King Ranch and how that started and how it went through and how they ended up selling it off, it's basically the same thing. So it's a sad story, but it's also part of life, and there was death, and I mean there's all kinds of things. And if someone did a documentary of those 2 ranches and how it kind of goes through family, that would be pretty cool. But so when we got there the first night, food is included. So you pay per night, and you don't pay for where you stay. You pay just a flat fee. And basically the ranch kind of at the end, I think somebody just came in and saved it, and it was somebody who lived in some land behind it. So they said when we got there, your food is not here, it's at their house. So we end up going to these people's house. And what they were doing is they were doing a charity event for CMO, which is Combat Warriors. And so basically they take Marines or combat Marines. They take actually all services. But basically, I don't know if you know, but in San Antonio, there is a very famous hospital, off the top of my head, I can't think of the name of it, but it is for burn victims. And I actually spent a lot of time there because that is where my grandmother died, because she ran over herself. I'm not kidding. She ran over her legs, and she was air flighted from Breckenridge in Austin to there. And I spent a lot of time there because she basically told the doctor she didn't want to live. So he just took her off all. Anyway, let's not talk about that. So I know a lot about that. And that hospital is basically people who have burn, who maybe they were in an IUD and they blew up. Maybe they have, it's mostly people from war. And so what this family does is they started several people started it. They started this Combat Marine organization. It's called CMO. And they bring people who have been either disabled or some kind of wounding from the war. It could be mental, it could be physical, it could be anything. And they bring them to these ranches. And in the back of this YO headquarters, there's ranches. And so the different people who live there, they let Marines or other service members come, and they take them on a hunt. And they let them kill an animal and then, I guess, stuff it. I don't know much about that. So it's me and my kids. I don't know much about all this stuff, but we start going. So this beautiful windmill is in the front, like kind of the side of their house, and they said we could take pictures. So we don't know what to expect. We're just going to this charity event, which I thought was great because, it would teach my kids a little bit. But then we go, and then here's some pictures. So I thought the windmill was great. Their house is basically, I didn't even put all the pictures. Their house is basically Cabela's times 10. And what they do is the man and woman, the man shoots with a bow, and the woman shoots with a rifle, and they try to kill the same animal twice. So in their house, they have every animal twice.
Wow. And
we're just going to show some more pictures. That is a fourth of their den. It is a circle. It's a semicircle, half circle. The entire circle is full of animals. So you can imagine Kevin and I are like, oh my goodness, what are we doing? There was everything, lions, tigers, bears, elephants. Oh, it was insane. My kids were like a little bit freaked out. We kind of made them take that picture, but you can see there's 2 of every animal.
Wow. Oh, I can't. They look too lifelike.
Oh, I mean, they're huge. Real. And above the fireplace was a huge elephant, and the fireplace was huge. But basically, it's an older couple, and they built this house about 15 years ago. They bought the ranch about 5 years ago. But what they do is it's just them, and they have 1 bedroom, 1 kitchen, and a giant den. And on the other side of the house, they have like living quarters. So I guess if their kids come to visit, or like a separate house for other people. But it's a giant house, but it's basically just this living room. You can see Christopher, look on the right at his face. He's like, get me out of here. He's like, Daddy's making me take this picture. There was a ton more pictures, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
And then that was where we ate breakfast. So they had... food is included, so breakfast was at 8 a.m., which that was lovely because that made us get up. And then lunch was at noon, and then dinner was at 6. But this is my son Peyton, and he likes insects and he hates animals. So when that camel was putting his head in the car, he was screaming the whole time. He hated it. Mm-hmm. It was funny though. Oh. And then we took. There was a lady that has worked for the ranch for 30 years through the different owners, and she took us. We just did like a 2-hour ride, but it was freezing, and that's where I got really sick because I just cannot be outside that long. I should have worn a mask. That would have made it better. But they had fun. That's their Harry Potter blanket.
Oh, Hufflepuff.
I don't even know who Hufflepuff is. And then they had like different animals. So the ranch used to be a cattle ranch, a longhorn ranch. And that is how they started. I guess they started with the cattle drives, which I don't know much about. There's not as many animals on it as now as there was at one time, obviously. So I'm not sure I think they're going to do it more as an exotic. But it's more of a hunting ranch, I guess. So I'm not really sure. I don't know much about hunting. I know that, people in my family used to hunt, but Kevin and I don't know a thing about it. But there was longhorn, there were giraffes, there was buffaloes, donkeys, camels, everything. I just brought a couple of photos. Let's see. Okay, so this was funny. When we were taking that little ATV ride around, you could feed the llamas cookies. Oh. So we would feed them, and then we gave them all the cookies. I fed them all because my kids didn't want to. And they chased us, like, for a good mile. Wherever, and so the lady finally, she said when their ears do that, when they're sitting up like this, like that, when they go like that, that means they're about to snort on you. Not spit. She says people think they spit, but they actually snort. So when she saw their ears go up, she took off, and she said, yeah, they're going to snort on you. Mm. So I don't know if they get mad and they snort, but they were chasing us for food, and one of my kids was freaking out because it would come up. I mean, you would be sitting in the cart, and it would just come up, and you'd just be like sitting there, and there'd be a llama in your face, and you'd be like, oh my God, it's crazy. Mm-hmm. And then I think I have a few more pictures. Yes. This, let's see, that was on the way there. We stopped to eat somewhere, and it was really good. Yeah. So that's all my kids. So on the left is Peyton. The second is Will. They're twins. That's Emma. And then Christopher's on the right. He's younger, but he weighs 10 more pounds and is at least an inch taller. And then that's Kevin. And then I don't know. Oh, that was me. Okay, there was like a pool, and they had like an overlook pretty up high where it just looked down upon the animals. And so I stitched for a couple hours outside, and my kids kind of alternated between the pool and there was like a lodge, and they had a pool table, and they loved that, but it was full of dead animals. And then this was a camel. I don't know why the camel, there's like this cage, and there's like a camel, a donkey, and a longhorn, and some goats. So I was trying to take a picture of my cross stitch, but that camel came right up, and he was going to take it. He was not I wouldn't say he was aggressive, but he was definitely would make a lot of noise. Because they would give us food each day where you could go feed them, but when they didn't like when you fed them, they would make noise. So it was kind of interesting. But, and then this is the dog. So this is like the little lodge that they had, and there was a man that, I guess he's the manager of the ranch, I guess. And he had this dog named Luke. And so Luke would follow Emma, and so they had a lot of fun with this dog. It's like an older dog, and he was a hunting dog at one time, and he was really good. And then, this was like on the last day. That was the donkey, and my kids were riding the donkey. They thought it was hilarious. Let's see. And then that's Christopher riding the donkey. I think that's it, right?
Yes, that's it.
There is more pictures, but we ended up canceling the horseback riding because it was an hour away, and I was literally like, we just gotta go home. Like, my kids had it. They played pool. They played in the pool. There was a pool table, so Kevin taught them how to play pool. They had some other game, but they didn't want to play it, like shuffleboard or something.
Oh, yeah.
But I think we had just had it. We were staying in a log cabin that was built in the 1800s, and it was really fine, except for the beds were not. And that's fine, but we needed to get home to our beds. And there was a water leak, so when you would take a shower, the water would kind of go everywhere. Anyway, I just said, I don't want to go ride horses. I've had enough of this outdoor. And plus, like, I have my allergies the whole time. I had a headache the whole time. That's why I don't like to go outside. And my voice is about to go. But it was fun. But I really think somebody's got to do a documentary about just the logistics of having a ranch, how you started, how you made your money, and then how it just, there's death and widows and fraud, and just there was a lot of stuff when I Googled it.
Wow.
And I thought, me and Lily, we should do a documentary. We should go out there and make a documentary and present it to Netflix. I mean, it would be good.
Yeah, submit it to Sundance. Go to Park City.
Oh, yeah. And I don't know. But yeah, I mean, there's people that have worked there for 30 years, 20 years. There was a guy, he was 70 years old, and we talked to him, and he's from Mexico, and he's lived there 40 years. I mean, he's lived on that ranch 40 years, and through the different owners, and he talked to us a little bit about the new owners, the older owners, and what he does. He had like a truck that had the feed, and so we were trying to figure out, so he would go and, I guess, fill up the feeders. I don't really know. We don't know anything about ranching, but it was very interesting. All those dead animals, that was a little much for me. I was like, oh my goodness, what? It was like a Smithsonian. I'm not kidding. It was I showed my brother. My brother used to be a big time hunter. His new wife is not into that, so he's kind of curtailed that a little bit. But he said, oh my gosh, that's $1 million of just taxidermy. Like they told us a story about the older gentleman. He went to Kazakhstan. I don't even know where that is. And I think he had like an incident, and the Sherpa had to bring him down. I mean, that's how intense they were into hunting, is that they're like crazy hunters. Like, yeah. So guys, that was my vacation. That was my Serendipity block, or Sewcialites block. I'll see you guys next week.
Bye, everyone.